Hello, I am Dr OP Tiwari from Government College, Sriganganagar. Today we are going to discuss the autobiographical element in the novel Mill on the Floss, written by George Eliot. Mill on the Floss is an autobiographical novel, but it is not autobiographical in the sense in which the novels of Dickens are. It is semi-autobiographical. In this novel, George Eliot has put more of herself than in any other novel. W.R. Nicol calls it the most authoritative account of her own complex character. The novel is truly a spiritual autobiography of Mary Ann Evans, and the history of Maggie Tulliver's is the history of Mary Evans also. The important point, however, is her identity with the heroine. The elder Tullivers do not represent her parents, and the brother Tom, it is to be hoped, was at most vaguely suggested by the real Isaac Evans. But Maggie Tulliver, in spite of certain modifications, the remarkable personal beauty, for example, which has for good reasons to be bestowed upon her, evidently represents as clearly as possible what George Eliot would have been had she been transplanted in her infancy to some slightly different family in the same district. Although many of the best novels in the language are autobiographical, there is hardly one which gives so vivid and direct a representation of the writer's most intimate characteristics. There is a close parallel between the characters and life story of Mary Evans and Maggie Tulliver. Gerald Bullitt has remarked in this connection, Mary Ann was the baby of the family. She was deeply devoted to her parents, especially her father, and she doted on her brother Isaac, who was 3 years her senior. She and he were inseparable companions. Tom Tulliver is precisely 3 years older than Maggie. He is masterful, casually affectionate, stubbornly self-satisfied, and a great hand at dealing out punishment. So too we may plausibly guess was Isaac Evans. Maggie is the adoring little sister, emotionally dependent with an insatiable appetite for affection, and all we know of Mary Evans' intimate history suggests that she too was just that. Indeed, we are justified in assuming that the story of Tom and Maggie, which provides the underlying and often explicit theme of the whole book, is in spiritual and psychological essentials, though not in its actual persons and incidents. The story of Mary and Isaac Evans. Isaac, like Tom, was censorious, unimaginative, unforgiving. Wounded in the only sensitive part of him, his respectability, when Mary Ann flouted convention by throwing in her lot with George Henry Lewes, this dearly loved brother would henceforward have nothing to do with her. She was utterly cast off, as was Maggie by Tom. Only at the end, in the specious and mechanically contrived reconciliation between Tom and Maggie, does the parallel entirely break down, for Isaac did not condescend to resume brotherly relations with Mary Ann until at the age of 60, and widowed of Lewis, she made an honest woman of herself by marrying John Walter Cross, a man then in his 40th year. Emotionally and spiritually, Maggie is like Mary Ann. Maggie, like her creator, has the intellectual potentiality for which the environment into which she is born does not provide much encouragement. She has desperate need for affection and intimate personal relations, and above all, she has the need for an emotional exaltation, a religious enthusiasm that shall transfigure the ordinariness of daily life and sweep her up in an inspired devotion on self to some ideal purpose. There is, however, a difference between Maggie and Tulliver and Mary Ann Evans. Maggie is beautiful. She is triumphantly beautiful after having been the ugly duckling, while Mary was plain looking and remained so all her life. But the novelist has used poetic freedom to render an account of herself. In the earlier books of the novel, she has poured more herself. That is why that this novel has the warmth of her personal touch. A.C. Ward rightly calls the Mill and Floss the David Copperfield or Ben Dennis among the products of her literary genius. Thank you.